Hi guys, welcome back. We had ourselves a little chicken's lunch there. That was nice, actually. Did you like that? Yeah, the gravy came out really good, and it had a lot to do, first of all, with a good stock, and that's what I always emphasize. You make a good stock, you make a good soup or a good sauce. That's for sure. And I add a little more stock to the velouté because it's thickened up and got cold. Now this aluminum pan, it's not the steel pan, so you don't want to do this a lot. Actually, you can even see, you can see how it changes color over there. So you don't want to really do that. So if you mix it like this, just lightly. Have it on low heat too. You got to remember that. Stocks are high protein items. There's a lot of protein in stocks. So you got to be careful about bacteria. They always should be kept warm. Big plate. Or a bowl? A bowl would be better. So I can keep all my utensils in there. Okay, let's get closer up to this now. That's a pretty long cord, right? It's just how the cords. Okay. Oh, what's that funny line? Look at that. Oh, okay. Oh. What is that? It's something to do with the. Okay. Step back. Look over here. It didn't seem to show up on that. It's something to do with the light waves. Oh yeah, that appears there too. Try it on the monitor, just for fun. Sorry guys. Oh, okay, a little better. Closer. Okay. Saute meat, regardless of what it is, chicken, beef, pork, anything, it's basically the same step. Sweat the garlic and shallots. Add the garnish, whatever that may be. Whether it be mushrooms or thyme or anything. Deglaze with stock, wines, alcohol, soju, water, fruit juice, just about anything. Then we're going to add our grand sauce, and our grand sauce is going to be velouté today. Adjust seasonings, add cream, and then finish with butter. And I told you guys that anytime you finish with butter, the best thing to do is turn off the heat, especially in these big pans. Now this technique here is used quite commonly too. I don't basically do, but if you're not going to be, if we're going to just be making like how we made the gravy, right? What we did, we reduced the alcohol with garlic and shallots in the pan drippings, but still the same idea. You can sweat it that way. Added the garnish, which was the mushrooms. And then we added stock, adjust seasonings, and added cream. But all these steps are basically the same way. This we've done many times, a la minute style. And like I said, with the A class, you guys look a little confused when we put in the grand sauce. So that's why we're going to be doing this today for A and B. So you should understand this quite well. This is really an important part of Western cooking. Whether it's you're cooking French, Italian, German, it's all really the same steps. They all have the same steps. So we got our ground sauce ready. Just bring in that once again, bring it to a boil, because we did take a little vacation there, a little break. We want to make sure we don't get any bacteria going on. Swing over here. Now I always use chicken breast. The only reason why, because we have a lot of chicken breasts. And it's one of the easier ones to cook. And I always use the bones for making stock, so we end up a lot with that. So you look at the sizes, all right? When you cut it, you try to cut it to the same size. Using the teeth part. It's better to hit it multiple times than that. You want to get it lightly many times. You hit it too hard and too fast, it becomes mushy and the texture is too soft. You want a little jolky to it. These are the only big ones right here you have to really worry about. You'll see when we do the chicken roulade in the French class, we'll do basically the same process. Okay. While they're here like this, you can season them. But don't dredge them. Don't dredge them. This is something you guys could do at home. You don't necessarily need a mother sauce to do this. Turn that off now. You could turn it low, but these stoves are very difficult to work on low. That's for sure. Now I only coated one side, but you rub it like this. You have this side to this side. Flip it over, rub it. Up, up, flip it over, flip it over. Up, whoops, up. Leave it just like that. Don't dredge it at that point. It can stay like that for a while. Not too long because you added salt. And once you add salt to it, it's going to take the moisture out and it's going to make it a little tough. So, whoops, I just got probably Professor U. Let me go check that, please. I'm sorry. Talk to my boss. Oh, not him. Who knows? No, maybe this is it. What is it? No?
No.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Well, we have a lot of garlic, so one of the sauces we're going to do is a roasted garlic sauce. Slice the garlic in rounds. If you slice it this way, when it cooks, it will split. It will split down the center, down that way. So cut it into rounds, and fairly thick. Don't cut too thin. Now we're going to have to pre-roast the garlic, but you do end up with some garlic oil, so that's not a bad thing. Can you give me some young pop in the refrigerator? Nothing wrong with the onion sauce either. Nothing wrong with the mayonnaise, which we did. You guys eat the onions on the chicken? Did you eat the onions? The sauté onions?
Yeah.
Nice, right? They're very simple and they have a nice flavor. Feels a clog today. We'll do a simple mushroom sauce. Forestier, this is the French name for it. Forest sauce. We'll do an Aurora. We're gonna make it a little different though. We're gonna add some sun-dried tomatoes. Thank you. So there's 4 different ways, but the idea is that basically the steps are all the same. I'm pre-cooking this garnish only because we want to lightly brown the garlic, and you can't do it really. You can't do it on a high heat. You can't do it on a high heat. You end up burning it. So, and this is something if you're in a restaurant or something, you'd be doing a mountain of it, you know, a half a kilo of it at a time. Since we're only doing very little. Garlic will stick together too when it's cooking. Watch it very closely. Fairly low heat. That's a fairly high heat. Because it'll burn very easily. Now you guys love raw garlic, but Westerners really don't. But they do like garlic cooked. I do too. I mean, very much so. That's why I cut it a little thicker too, so first of all, it doesn't burn, but it still has the flavor and texture. Very careful with this. Nothing's worse than burnt garlic. Horrible flavor. It goes quick, so yeah, that's about good enough. What I'm going to do now is just season a little. It'll help draw out the moisture. You hear it popping now? You know, a little popping because it's drawing out the water, giving a more crisper texture. I guess we'll do that one first. Now we have a little gochujang going on there too. I'm going to just do one of each sauce, one piece of chicken. Let's see how many sauces we can do. Last time I did like a caper sauce, I did a garlic, an onion sauce, Bouillon style. Dredging is always light. Okay, it's always light. There's already oil present in there, maybe a little more. Obviously, this is a big pan for what we have. Some small plates. Yeah, something like that's be fine, yeah. That's a little... We get onions at school that are peeled, pre-peeled, and you lose a lot. This becomes hard and skin-like. It's great if you do mirepoix, but you don't really need a lot of mirepoix. Let's see if it's dry. Just getting mise en place ready for other dishes. There's some sherry in the back. Sherry, yeah. No, it looks like a bottle of wine. Sherry is a fortified liquor, like port wine, Madeira Masala, vermouth. What would you know it as? You know, like Bic Seju.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of like a sherry in a lot of ways. It's a fruit-based alcohol that's a little stronger than regular regular wine. Yeah, one of those two. I can't see from here. Oh, red wine. There's red wine in there and a sherry. Are those two red wines? Oh, okay, maybe Joe took it back. Okay. No. We got chicken. We'll go with the white wine. Okay, like with anything else, lightly brown caramelization. Let me turn this down a bit. Oh, there you go. Okay, good. It's good to use the different alcohols for you guys, so you guys get different flavors. This is a very nice sherry. This is actually a drinking sherry, not a cooking sherry. This, I'm not sure how much, but probably about 40 or like Oman a bottle, which is good. I mean, for sherry's not really the most expensive alcohol. Right, so cook 80%. Now, since we're doing a garlic sauce, we don't need to add. Swing up really quick. Saute meat and shallots of garlic. The garnish is going to be the garlic in this one, right? And we're going to deglaze with the sherry. Now, this doesn't really flambe as much as the brandy, but still, take it off, pour, swirl, tilt. I think you do that more with the brandy. I gotta teach you guys. Because I worked at places guys doing this, and it flares up, and one guy dropped the bottle, set the whole kitchen on fire. Chef was kind of angry. Wasn't me, I didn't do it. All right, we reduce it down. We just deglazed. Yeah, you can probably stay there. They should be able to. Yeah. Now we're going to add the ground sauce. Our sand cream. It's always good to have the sand cream to room temperature. If it's too cold, too hot, it can, even if it's good cream, it can break. Now, probably the best thing to do is get something like this, but this is, once again, it's a Teflon pan. It's not the best for sauteing. Where's the wood thing? Let's see. Grab some butter. Now we're going to finish with butter, about that much, right? But just seasoning, so I should check it. Now I put salt. Remember, when I cooked the garlic, I added salt. So remember those steps, even with the pureed. So we really don't need to add salt, but we do need to add a little pepper. At this point, I always suggest just turn it off, drop it in, and then keep it moving. Don't stop. Butter should be a little chilled. It should be not hard, but not room temperature, because then it will break too. Breaking is when the water and the oil separate. I should break one just so you can get to see it. Actually, I probably will. Let me just finish this one off. Because a lot of times you guys do break the sauces, and you don't know what to expect. Nice roasted garlic sauce. I'm going to add a little herb, just a little parsley. To add some color, freshness to it. It does have a lot of flavor, parsley. It's not just a garnish. It makes a nice sauce, even sauce. Take our chicken, you can dredge it again. Just a nice coating on it. Put it on. And once again, to me, sauces are what people go to restaurants for. I'm just pulling out some of the garnish here because it's a very small piece. All right. Now let me see if I can try to break this. If I get too hot. It's a good sauce. I mean, it's a well-built sauce. Has a lot of body to it. Add a little butter. So what I'm trying to do is fail. Trying to fail it. So it get too hot. And then kind of stir the butter in, but not hot. It's not breaking. You guys do a good job of breaking them, that's for sure. You know, that's a good sauce. It's not even broken. I could have sworn that would have broke. Really, I mean, that's a lot of heat. And maybe as it cools, it will. Nice sauce. Nice sauce, chef. Oh, the garlic is really nice. Look at that, that's funny. Well, you can see it's a little oily on the top. It will break, I think, in time. It'll separate, the oil will separate from the, yeah, there it goes. There it goes. Let it cool a bit, let it wash my hands. So finishing with the butter, let me get a little closer now. See how the butter's coming up to the surface? That's a broken sauce as opposed to the other one. Where's the... See the difference? See the streaks of butter in there? Or oil, actually. It could even be the roux. It's kind of like jelly-like. That's what happens if you get it too hot. Here it stayed even, smooth. It's really hard to see, right? Clear enough, you think? Yeah, you can see this is broken, but you can see how this is not. I should put more sauce in there. That's what I should have done. But I think I got the idea. That's why in class I always tell you guys to turn off the heat before you add the butter, just because it will break. And this actually took a while to break. So yeah, that's one broken sauce. So that's what we don't want. Okay. Moving on. Let's do the Aurora. I like the Aurora. Aurora is simply a tomato paste sauce, which doesn't sound delicious, but I do have some sun-dried tomatoes. Once again, recipes are good, but what you do is you take recipes and you make them into what you like. Now, traditionally, it is just tomato paste. And there are places that do make their own tomato paste, tomato reduction, concassate tomatoes. You cook it down and you make your own paste. It has a much better flavor. What I'm using here is just some commercial made paste. Just because most people do use it anyway. It's not bad. Kind of acidy. Very Sheeta sour taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, where fresh tomatoes doesn't have so much. Pretty soon we'll get to use the olive oil, I think. Yeah, now it's starting to turn. Okay, we already seasoned the meats. Step one, season, dredge. And dredge is, you're not making tonkatsu. You're going to shake it off. Right? Hit the pan, make sure it's warm when you put it in. The flour should react. I need a pan half this size. Even if you have 3 pieces in here, it's a little too big. I'm getting used to it though. Shake off the flour. That's fine. It should react. A little hard. We use wine for this one. It's just a typical Spanish wine. It's always good to taste it. See where you're going. Very light. Very light flavor. Really light. Somebody put water in there? That happens. That's for sure. Here's my palms. Tongs? No. Yeah, I'm curious. Well, people drink a lot in kitchens. I wonder if somebody drank this and put water into it. Taste it. Yeah, somebody's getting funny, but let's make believe it's fine. I worked with a chef who used to put salt in all the wines. But that changes recipes once again. Like we put salt into the garlic here. You got to be really careful you do things like that. If you put salt into the wine, just as long as everybody knows that there's salt in it. Another one of these would be fine. No, 2, this size. Yeah, so everything stays the same. Yeah. This piece is a little thicker. Cooking wise too, you can always tell, they say like you make a fist, that's well done, loosen it up, halfway, raw. So raw chicken, medium, make a fist, hard. So you feel that? Yeah, it works, that's a good way of doing it. What's that? Fingertips?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of ways. People do the chin, I think it's all just about timing. You want light caramelization on there is very important. That makes the flour taste good. Makes it taste like bread. With a little hot. These stoves are very hard to work. I know that. Chicken on the side. Aurora is a very classical French sauce. It's used a fair amount. So it's a pretty sauce, I think. Now, the type of alcohol does change all the flavors. That's why I use a lot of different types. You should, your wine, just be careful, pull it off the side. It's not going to fall in. A little more. Cut up my garnish. The Julienne is what I like. Let them soften. Sun-dried tomatoes are a little chewy. So let them soften a bit. And I'm going to add our tomato paste, which would be considered a garnish at this point, because it is a flavor agent. Traditional Aurora doesn't have butter in it. It can. You'll see different recipes call for different things. Check seasoning. That's perfectly fine. A little cream. Cream, you don't have to worry about it breaking per se, as long as it's warm. Just you put too much in there, make it pink. You don't want to make it pink. You still want to make a red sauce. Pink doesn't look, I don't think really a very pretty sauce. Okay. 25? Okay. And we'll add a little garnish on that. The sun-dried tomatoes, once again, it takes it from Escoffier style to modern style. You know, some people, oh, sun-dried tomatoes are Italian. Yeah, they kind of are, but it doesn't. It's not like Italy and France. They border each other. They're next to each other. And Mediterranean cooking is very much splash over. When you think pesto, what do you think about pesto? Italian, right? But it really comes from Marseille in France. It's actually a French thing made originally with walnuts and moved down to Italy, and they did it with pine nuts. And that's what everybody thinks pesto is being Italian, but actually its hometown is actually in France. So we're going to cut this off and get back to the other two items. Okay, so see you in a few.